with me now a number of ladies and gents here from the Grenada Sailing Festival. So, good morning. How is everybody doing?
Good morning.
Good, thank you.
Morning. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
Okay. I need you two to just. Oh no, it's okay. Never mind. Ignore me. So I'm just gonna go around. So on my immediate right is Mr. Still Lyons from Scotiabank. Next to him is Mr. Robert Frederick, country head from Scotiabank. Then we have Ms. Suzanne Clark, who is the nautical attaché from the Grenada Board of Tourism. And then we have Mr. Danny Donlan, the assistant manager at Camper and Nicholson's Marina. So good morning again to everybody.
Morning.
All right. So Sailing Festival starts this week. Tell me a little bit about what's going to be happening and when it starts. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'll talk
You
first
start,
then.
yeah.
All right, no problem. It's your week. So I know. I don't like the mornings, but anyway, the festival has been happening this is our 19th year, and it's going to start off with the Keelboat Regatta at Port Louis Marina starting on Friday. There's a skipper's briefing Friday night. So big party there on Friday night. It's a chance where all of the skippers get their bags with all of the goodies from all of the different sponsors, and quite a few sponsors this year. I think over 20 or so. The party on Friday night will be followed by the first set of racing on Saturday. So the racing basically happens between off of Port Louis all the way over to Hog Island. All of the different courses are between those two marks. So I think there's about between 2 and 3 races on Saturday, followed by the Mongay Red Cap party on Saturday night. Now, if anybody knows anything about sailing, they'll know that those Mongay Red Caps are sought after by sailors all over the world. They go all over the world actually doing regattas just so they can get those caps and they hold on to them. It's a prize gift for sailors out there. And after the party on Saturday night, that's followed by more racing on Sunday, followed by a rest night on Sunday night, followed by more racing on Monday, followed by a very big party with live band, dinner, music, all this sort of stuff over at Dodgy Dock at True Blue, followed by more racing on Tuesday, and then the big prize giving on Tuesday night, followed by live bands, big party. And, well, Port Louis is very proud to be the one of the title sponsors and the host of the regatta once again, and there's going to be a lot of action down at Port Louis, so we're asking everyone to come out and have a good time. And then, of course, the week after, the Independence Weekend, is the Workboat Regatta, which these gentlemen will talk about.
Yeah, the week after, we go straight into the Scotiabank Workboat Regatta. Similar to what Danny has mentioned, we start off with the skipper's briefing. Well, just so that you know, the Workboat Regatta is the 16-footers, wooden boat, bamboo sails, the guys from Carriacou, the guys from Woburn, the guys from Guelph coming together. They build these boats, and they're out in the sea. So it's exciting stuff. It's usually a lot of fun. Families come out, they cheer. They're almost always in the water cheering on their teams. So it's going to be fun. It starts off with the skipper's briefing. Then we'll have the junior dinghy sailing competition. During the lunch break, I think we had your guests before. We'll have the strongman competition. A lot of other little activities for the family that will include the face painting for kids, the bouncing castle. I think there's a football, I think it was Courts is doing a football penalty kick out. So it's going to be a fun day, and that's happening on the 4th as well as on the 5th. It's tying into our Independence Weekend. As you know, unfortunately, there's a day to go back to work on Monday, but but it's promising to be a lot of fun. So we want to encourage people to come out. Normally, the families and people alike, they're just coming to see the sailing and see what's happening. Scotiabank will be there, as is our usual practice. we would normally participate in anything that we sponsor. We're the title sponsor for the Workboat Regatta. Again, there to share information where customers have said to us, hey, it's the only opportunity we have to hear about what Scotiabank has to offer, so it'll be a good opportunity to be there and share. The events will culminate on Sunday with fireworks.
Okay.
Right, so it'll be fun
So
all the
into
way
the night then.
going late into the evening, because on both days after the sailing and normally the skippers, they come together and it's it's fun partying, that sort of thing after it's done, and it'll be a lot to look forward to.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now, Suzanne, I mean, I said earlier on the show, and I hope I was correct, that the Sailing Festival is the second largest tourism product in Grenada, only to Carnival. Is that accurate? Or?
Very, very much so. In terms of the sectors for tourism, yachting is one of our key strategic areas that we're looking at. I would say Carnival is huge, but it doesn't really attract as many foreign tourists, if you like, as much as dive or yachting does. Yachting is phenomenally huge in terms of bringing revenue to the country. So, for example, for the racing series, the Camper Nicholson Port Louis Racing Series, we've got something like 40 to 50 boats and 500 captain and crew that are coming in. And we've done previous research with the Marine and Yachting Association that has shown that when yachtsmen and women are here, they spend on provisioning for their boat, parts for their boat, but they don't just spend for their boat, they spend for themselves. So they go to restaurants, they go on tours, they go to bars, they visit the museum, they visit our tourist attractions. So there's an awful lot of revenue that comes from yachting. So it's very, very important to us. And I think key for me with the fact that this is over 2 weekends, so you have the racing series and then we have the Scotiabank Workboat Regatta, is for tourists. I'm already hearing the tour operators advertising, get down to the beach, get down to Port Louis, these are the events that are happening, and the following weekend, Independence Weekend, get down to the beach and just integrate with the locals that are there, because it really is party time. It's good fun. And especially watching the Le Mans start and the guys racing into the water to push the boats and then jumping out to get that winning glass of rum, as I understand it. So yeah, so it's definitely an important sector for us.
Okay. All right. Mr. Frederick, tell me a little bit about Scotiabank's involvement. How long have you been involved? How has it progressed for you guys?
Yeah, perhaps in an effort to do that, I'll put things a bit into perspective. We've been in this region now for over 100 years, in the case of Jamaica. In fact, next year we celebrate our 50th anniversary in Grenada.
Okay.
And unlike many financial institutions across the region, we have never really left. We have never changed ownership. We're essentially here to stay. And the manifestation of our involvement with the Scotiabank Workboat Regatta is really quite closely aligned to the obligation we think we have to serve the communities that we have been a part of for 100 years in some cases. When we initially got involved with the Sailing Festival, it was sort of undefined, but we, being the largest lender to the hospitality sector in the region, also saw with our institutional hat the need to support these types of events, which redound to the benefit of Grenada, in that it improves Grenada as a quality destination, and anything that we can do that will support that was quite relevant. But more importantly, when we took the decision, we were invited to sponsor the Workboat Regatta this year. We found an even more closely aligned purpose, if you may, in that it focuses on the youth. Right, and that is part of our Bright Future program, which we'll disclose more about in the public domain later on. But we're quite pleased. One of the things that Sterl sort of touched on is the fact that not only do we put resources behind it, but our staff are also quite actively involved, as you will see on the day in question.
Okay.
So it's
You
exciting.
guys have a boat? Your staff?
We haven't progressed to
Unfortunately,
that.
Okay, not that active.
No.
Okay, but but on
Maybe
the
next
beach
year.
and involved.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Maybe the tug of war for this year or something,
Perhaps.
or the penalties. Yeah,
Don't set me up now.
yeah. I'll be looking for you. I'll make sure we have some cameras down there checking on that. Okay, as far as the boats go, I know you said that it's the guys from Carriacou, it's the guys from Woburn. What about outside of Grenada? Are there any boats coming? Do we get any Beckway boats coming in at all, or
No,
is there any hope for that?
Well, yeah, I expect that in the future we probably, I mean, with the organization committee, probably they'll do an invitation. But so far, it's all Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So there's Guave, Woburn. There is a team from Petit Martinique. There is a team from Carriacou as well. You know, I expect that it'll expand in the future. Last year, Guave, I think, took the title.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Sometimes I don't remember who who won, but it was Guave. This year, we're hearing that Woburn has built 3 new boats.
Okay.
Right, and they're going to try to take the cake away. So it's gonna be keen competition, and it's going to be good fun. So let's see what comes out of it.
Okay. How many boats are we talking about roughly?
About 40 boats.
40 boats.
this
Okay.
year.
How many
Two.
categories?
Yeah. There are 3 categories. We have the junior, we have the
Intermediate.
community class, and it's the junior community class and the
And one other.
and one other. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
So you have to come down to the beach this weekend.
Yeah,
Next weekend, Independence weekend.
Yeah,
to-
that's the
to-
weekend of the 4th, 5th.
Okay. All right. And all day. And then, so then you said that there were about 40 to 50 boats coming in. How far afield are we seeing boats coming from?
So, we have captains from Australia, the UK, US.
Is this alphabetical order?
Is it really? Okay. I'm just looking at the map and
You are
coming
awake.
coming across from the west to the east. We have quite a lot of Trinidadians coming. We have some Antiguans coming. Of course, the winner is Jaguar from Trinidad. Captain called Peter Morris comes here every year. Has been coming here every year for many years.
I know they ended up on the cover of Discover
Ended up on
magazine.
the cover of Discover magazine
last year.
2 years ago.
2 years
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right. So he's come back obviously to try and win the title again. Of course, we have Richard Sison in Grenada on Category 5, which you sail on, and I hear you sailing on this year again. And I know you guys are trying to take the title away from him. So it's going to be exciting times. And well, just going on a bit further from what Susan was saying, you know, we try our best to make sure that these guys don't get much sleep. When they're not racing, they're going to Scotiabank to get money to come back to party. So it's non-stop adrenaline, racing, partying, on the beach, you name it, and because everything is at Port Louis and everybody has the facilities. I mean, in years past when they weren't at Port Louis and they had to anchor off, everything. I think the logistics were a lot harder because it means they had to get on the dinghies, they had to come to shore, they had to go to the venues, and then when they had enough to drink, get back onto dinghies and get back onto the boats, which could provide problems at times. Now they just walk off the docks, go straight to the Victory Bar across there, have the food, have some drinks, do some dancing, have a good time, back on the boats and get ready for the next day of sailing. So it definitely creates a lot more camaraderie when you're right next to your competitors. All of the boats, we're putting them all together. I mean, if you come into Port Louis now, there's not one spot open in the marina right now. Every single berth down
Even
there
for my kayak?
is completely filled. I'm sorry, we don't. So it's exciting times. You know, the yachting industry is booming. The Grenada Sailing Festival is doing good. It's been going on over 2 weekends, which spreads the revenue that Grenada gets over 2 weekends. It means that people stay longer. I mean, when you go down onto the beaches and you come to Port Louis, you're going to see a lot of tourists there looking at the event as well. So it's definitely becoming more and more of a national event, and it's because we've been going for 19 years, and it just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Okay. And when you said the tourists come down to the beach to watch race, I know the boat regatta is on Grandlands Beach, but are there any really good spots for people to go to watch the keelboat racing this weekend?
Definitely. The great thing about the race course is that it's set up on the south and the southeast coast. It's set up along all of the hotels. I mean, you can go everywhere from from Port Louis to Coconut Beach to Garfields to Bananas to Coyaba, Spicin, La Source, La Luna. I mean, all of these medical school, Prickly Bay, all of these points are set up perfectly. So you can go there, you can do it fancy, you can have a drink at Spicin and watch a race in Savi's, Mount Cinnamon, or you can just go on a cliffside and watch the event happening. Of course, you can jump on boats as well. There's a lot of boats out there for charter that you can jump on and actually follow the racing and check it all out. So definitely something worth doing, and everyone should definitely come out and enjoy our national event.
Okay. And as far as the boats go, how does the number of boats compare to last year or previous years, 5 years ago? And I suppose maybe not just the number of boats, because you have limited docking space, but is the size of the boats or quality of the boats increase as well?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say limited docking space, because we have a lot more docking space now than we had years ago.
Yeah.
Limited possibly because there's so many visitors on the island right now. There's so many yachters on the island right now that provides a challenge in itself. The number of boats has always been around, I would say, between 25 and 40 boats. It hasn't grown that much over the years, but the quality of the festival has grown over the years, and the fact that Scotiabank has come on and taken the World Boat Regatta, we could see that getting bigger as well. And obviously it's a very hard economic time, but I think the sponsors that have been there for many, many years, and they've stuck with it because they believe in it, and we thank them for that, because the event could not happen without the sponsors. And it's good to see new sponsors coming on as well. The quality of the boats have definitely increased. I mean, this year we have a FAR 72 coming down here to race as well. I mean that is a top level racing boat. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that competes against the smaller boats. We also have On Deck, which is a racing company, a racing charter company that comes down here every year, and they have quite a big boat that's going to be racing there as well. So I think there are spots available on a lot of these boats. So if anybody wants to race, if you're a guest on the island and you actually want to get out there and get onto one of these boats, they do have charter boats available, so it is something that you can do. Moorings is one of the big sponsors as well. I mean, of course, Moorings is the biggest charter company in the world, and they have come on as one of the sponsors. So there's going to be a cruising class where you can rent a moorings yacht for the 4 days of the festival and actually go out there and get to race. So it's quite interesting, and the sponsors are definitely interesting and have stuck with us for a while. So we're happy about that.
Okay. And sorry, Suzanne.
Yeah, I was also going to say that I think that although the numbers may not have increased exponentially, you may expect 10, 20, 30, 40, and we'd be up to the 80s by now. But I think what I'm observing, and I've been here 5 years, but what I'm observing is that the word of the series and the regatta is getting round now, and we've become a fixed part of the racing calendar. So whereas previously it might have been a fun thing to take part in, now it's becoming a thing that they must take part in. So it may be the regular returners, but I think as we evolve and the fun gets out as well, it's going to be much more a fixed part of the racing calendar, and I expect numbers to increase over time, definitely. And the size of the boats are increasing. I mean, especially when we have visitors like that one we have offshore at the moment, that the world's largest yacht out there that's come to have a look. So
right. He has an unfair
definitely.
advantage, though, I'd say.
Yes,
In the event.
yes. I must admit, I was looking yesterday when he arrived in his great big Giga yacht. Is it? Are they Giga yachts now? And then I saw a mega yacht arrive, and I expected him to turn around and go away because he looked really tiny in comparison. But I think when you have that quality of person coming in to observe the racing and to observe the weekends and to take part, it just raises the profile of Grenada and our yachting, definitely.
Of course. Okay. And the parties and so on, these are, I know the one on the beach is open to anybody. The other parties that are happening, those are open to anybody to go join in.
Oh yeah,
definitely,
well,
right?
Definitely. And like we said, the parties are going to be Friday night, Saturday night, and Tuesday night at the Victory Bar, and then Monday night at Dotty Dock. And each night is live bands and DJs and all this sort of stuff. There's an open bar, so you come, you buy your drinks, you buy your food, and just come party with the races over there.
Okay. All right. And for people who want to get some information online, where can they go if they wanted to get in touch with anybody? How can they?
Go to www.grenadasailingfestival.com, and all of the information is there, from the races to the times to the parties, you name it, all there.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you guys very, very much for coming in. Very excited. Yachting is growing. I like to hear that the festival is growing as well. And it's 2 very, very busy weekends ahead of us, especially for you guys being involved in the organization. So happy that the 7th is a holiday, so that there's a little recovery involved. Although I'm sure everybody will be partying that day as well. But anyway, thank you very, very much for coming in. I'll be down there. I hope that you at home are going to be coming down to Port Louis this weekend to the parties, Dodgy Dock on Monday, getting out, watching the racing, and then down to Grand Anse Beach the following weekend for the Workboat Regatta. So yes, promises to be a great time.